Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. I know you guys saw the title to today's episode, and boy, am I ready for today's episode. I know you motherfuckers are too. Woo, we gonna get right into it, all right? I ain't gonna waste no time. All right, look, we gonna get right on into this because, we got a lot to go over, all right? And I mean a lot. So, move you guys over. We talking about Love is Blind, baby. Let's get it. I'm super excited. I know you motherfuckers are going to be excited too. Let's get on into it. So, season 9, Love is Blind. Woo! Oh, it is back, baby. It is back. So, I'm pretty much going to be talking about everything that's happened from the pods to the end of Mexico. All right, that's all I'm going to be talking about for now. I will talk about when they move in and all the way up to the weddings and shit like that in another episode, kind of when the season concludes and ends and all that kind of stuff, okay? So right now, we're just talking about, I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts of the pods and all that. I'm only going to be focusing on kind of the main people, if I'm being honest with you, like the main couples, and then some of the triangles, not really all the triangles, but a couple of them. But yeah, so you see on the screen, we got our boy Anton. Honestly, the only nigga that's winning, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. His girl, Allie, bruh, I'm telling you, finest girl I've ever seen. She got that little sweet little voice on her and everything, you know what I mean? It's funny how he kind of bagged her though, because it was one of those things where like homeboy really didn't have like his own personality really. She was just like, oh my God, I like this. And he's like, yeah, me too. I like that too. Oh yeah, I'm really into this. Me too. I'm into that too. Man, we have so much in common. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why for me, it's kind of wild, their dynamic in the physical, because when they're in Cabo and all that kind of stuff, they wasn't really talking about nothing. If I'm being honest with you, they didn't really have any meaningful conversations, no deep conversations. They didn't really get into the weeds of like, this is our relationship, this is what we're doing, all that stuff. You know what I mean? I sure she mentioned it a couple times where, she's like, oh yeah, I kind of want to be a stay-at-home wife, and would you be able to support me and our children and all that kind of stuff. Like they've talked about, but he never really gave like a real answer to a lot of stuff. He's just like, yeah, we can, we can see. Now, he's been realistic with some stuff, because I honestly think she trying to just like live a lifestyle, if I'm being straight with you. I really think that she trying to live a lifestyle, and I think that's going to be tough for our boy Anton, because look, I'm not going to sit here and say he ain't got it like that. I'm not going to pocket watch the nigga or nothing like that. I'm not. It's just one of those things where I think he's agreeing to shit that he don't know he's agreeing to with this girl, and getting her expectations like up here, when in reality his expectations are like kind of down here. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be tough to see, like, once they start talking about some real shit, you know what I mean, and the reality of their relationship starts to kind of clash with the reality of what he's capable of and what he can actually give her. I think that's going to be tough for them. I think it's going to be a big talking point for them, because if I'm being honest with you, she's a nurse, but she ain't trying to be a nurse forever. You know what I mean? Yeah, she like, man, I only got into this nursing shit because low key, let's be real, she trying to meet doctors, nigga. Like, she trying to meet doctors, nigga. Let's be honest here. Either that or she trying to meet a man who got doctor money. All right, I'm just being honest with you. And I ain't faulting her. She's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous girl. I ain't gonna knock her for that. Hell nah. But, you know, like I said, they haven't really been too much drama. I'm sure when they start living together, they'll probably butt heads a little more. But when it came to the pods, there wasn't really too much there. Now we got our boy Edmund. Man, this nigga right here, bro. I got a love-hate relationship with this dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a love-hate relationship. Like, I love his energy, and I love him just being him, but he is probably the goofiest dude I've ever seen. Oh man, but it's one of those things where like he's so goofy that like you can't help but love the guy. You know what I mean? You can't help, like when I first saw him on the show and niggas Naruto running and kissing the ground and shit, and you know, just being goofy and stuff like that. You know, I just looked at it like, bro, how can you not love this nigga, man? You know what I mean? But there are some things that about him that I think is really going to struggle with his girl, Calabria, and obviously we'll call her KB. I think she does enjoy his like emotional side and all that kind of stuff. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't think the emotional side of him is going to be the problem. I think where the problem is going to lie in their relationship is the fact that he is a little too childish, and she might look at it like, bro, you know, I need some maturity. Like, I don't mind you, you know, being a goofball and all that kind of stuff, but I need you to have some maturity in you a little bit in these moments where like, hey, I need you to hold us down, whatever, like, you know, because I guarantee you she's the type of girl where, there's that woman where she's kind of like always the one holding shit down. She's always the one doing things. And I think she's like, I'm coming into this experiment where I want to find a man who I can just give that to. And he holds it down for us, and he got it, and I could just be there. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Edmund could do that for her. You know what I mean? I really don't. I don't know if Edmund could do that for her. I hope he can. I think he's got the capacity to do it, but she may not be able to see that in him because of, you know, his kind of childish nature. Again, I don't know. I'm rooting for my boy Edmund. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, but I mean, when they were in Mexico though, like, man, look, and I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this. Okay. I've been seeing a lot of people on TikTok talk about this, and it's funny because everybody I think is very unilateral on this one. Now, when Edmund found out that everybody had sex except for him, and they was in the bed, and she was over here talking about, oh yeah, I used to be, you know, the type of girl that would go to bars and hook up with dudes I didn't care about and this and that, blah, blah, but I ain't like that no more. That is where I understood him. I was like, facts. What the fuck, man? You gonna fuck these dudes that you didn't give a shit about, but a nigga that's trying to be your husband, you're not gonna give him some coochie? Like, what you doing? But see, it's the way he went about it. This nigga was crying. I'm like, bro, come on, man. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you supposed to be representing the niggas on the show, and you crying? Come on, man. Like, and that's where everybody turned on him. And I, you know, again, we all kind of like unilaterally agreed on the same shit. Like my man, I feel you when it comes to the what the fuck, you ain't giving me no coochie, but you give these random niggas some coochie. But then it's like that all falls apart when you crying and throwing a fit like a child, bruh. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if KB looked at it as like, is this how you deal with conflict? You know what I mean? You throw a temper tantrum and you start crying? Or did she kind of look at it like, okay, this is only the first time he's done this. Maybe he's not going to do this again, or maybe, I could kind of like be all right with it. I don't know. Because, ladies, let me know if I'm wrong, but if you saw your dude throwing a temper tantrum and crying, I would think you feel a little different about him. You kind of be like, like, what the fuck are you doing, dog? I don't know. Again, I want to see their relationship go further, because I do think they could have a great relationship. I think their biggest hurdle is going to be, like, can he hold it down when she needs it to be held down? You know what I mean? I think that's going to be their biggest hump. If I'm being honest with you, I really do. I think that's going to be their biggest hump. All right. Our boy Joe. This nigga, bro. Look, man. Everything he said in the pods had to have been cap. All right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Everything this nigga said in the pods had to be cap. Because when you fast forward to Mexico, nigga was capping all over the place. All right. When they were asking him, hey, is Madison your type? And he was like, oh, I usually go for like thinner girls, but hey, I can learn to love a girl with like a bigger frame. It is what it's all right, blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts to the scene of them in the pool, and she's just like, oh, like, I hope that you're attracted to me. Like, do you feel like you're attracted? And he's like, no, but like, yeah, like, of course I'm attracted to you. Like, I'm just trying to connect you in the pods to the physical you, and trying to put that together. And when I met you, it was like, oh my God, I'm proposing to this stranger. And I'm like, bro, cap, nigga. Cap. What it really is you saw her and you were like, okay, this ain't really my type, but I'm a work it out. And this is where it like confirmed my thoughts on him. Cause I, like, don't get me wrong, when I was watching those scenes, I was like, I give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he is, trying to find, her attractive, let the attractiveness build and stuff like that. Gave him the benefit of the doubt. When they had the party and he got drunk, right? He went back to the spot and was just like, hey, I'm gonna leave, I gotta get some sleep, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. When homegirl came in, when Madison came in and woke him up, and she was like, he's like, oh, why are you all dressed up? Where are you going? This and that, blah, blah. And then he got up, went into the bathroom and had his crackhead behavior and all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, 100%. 100%. I didn't hit the head on the nail, but I got a damn near close, to the point where it's a thing where, he doesn't really see her attractive like that. All right, let's be factual. He don't really see her attractive like that. So what he's doing is he's kind of like trying to distance himself a little bit, to where he's just like, look, I don't want to look like a bad guy on TV, but at the same time, I want to give this girl the benefit of the doubt, because we did have some connection in the pods. You know what I mean? And that's where I give Joe the benefit of the doubt. But what I personally think he's doing is he's trying to push her away, so that way she's the one that kind of ends shit with him. And that way he doesn't really look like a bad guy. It's just one of those, the relationship just didn't work out. We were just too different. It just didn't pan out the way we thought it was going to pan out, And I ain't gonna lie to you, the way he was acting in Mexico in the bathroom, I was like, this nigga acting like a recovering drug addict or some shit, bro. Like, that's the, like, I guess you could say, vibe that he was given. You know what I mean? I was kind of like worried for homegirl. I'm like, yo, Madison, baby, are you good? Like girl, and you out here crying on the porch and shit. It's obvious that she wants you to go out there and like console her, but he's purposely acting like a dick. You know what I mean? And then this is where it comes full circle. So you know how I was saying, you know, my man was straight capping in the fucking pods? Well, after that incident, next day comes around, he's talking to her, and truly, I feel like when they made up, everything that homeboy said was just cap. You know what I mean? It was just cap. Like what happened that night is how he truly feels. And then, you know, when he's being all lovey-dovey and stuff like that, that's his act. That's the act he's putting on, you know, and trying to make things work. Again, I could be 100% wrong. That's just the vibe I'm getting from him because, bro, how are you going to change so drastically like that? Like, you go from the pods, you guys are connecting, you know, you guys have a lot of things in common. You guys are talking about, you know, things you want to do, this, and that, blah, blah, blah. And then you go from, oh, she's not really my type, but hopefully the attractiveness will go, you know, up to completely pushing her away. And then all of a sudden you're back to how you were in the pods. Like, none of the dudes are doing that. None of the dudes are just switching up on their girl all crazy like that just because they got intoxicated. Like, bro, even Jordan, you know, was a little drunk and acting crazy, but he wasn't pushing Megan away. You know what I mean? Again, it's going to be interesting to see how their relationship goes forward. I really think Joe is going to be the problem in this relationship, because I think Madison's just trying to make it work. You know what I mean? I think Madison's just trying anything to make it work, and Joe is just like, look, man, I don't want to look like a dick on TV, but you know, I'm a feign like I'm trying to make this work. You know what I mean? But I really don't care how this goes. It could go this way and it's cool. It can go that way and it's cool. I don't know, man, but like his actions just kind of show that. If I'm being honest with you, his actions showed that. Then we got our boy Jordan. This man is the only man I know that ever crawled out of the friend zone and got the girl. I don't know how he did it. I'm assuming it's because Blake went home. You know, so, I mean, I guess we can't talk about Jordan without talking about Megan. You know what I mean? So, we'll talk about Megan and then we'll go back to Jordan. So, Megan was dating 3 dudes. You know what I mean? Megan had 3 guys. So, it was Jordan, it was Mike, and it was Blake. So, Mike is Megan's normal type. You know what I mean? That's the guys that she goes for. The aloof guys, the guys that don't really, you know, act like they care, and you know, they're the broody guys. That's her type. That's her shit. And that's Mike's game. That was Mike's game from the get-go, and that's what had her like, ooh, I like that. Ooh, coochie's wet to that right there. But Jordan was that complete opposite. And I think she kind of looked at it like, I'm bonding with Jordan over things that are more meaningful, you know what I mean? Versus like with Mike, it's just an innate attraction type deal. You know what I mean? This is not a thing where we're connecting emotionally. We're not connecting to a deeper level. But with Jordan, we're connecting on family level. We're connecting on, you know, bonding, and we're really getting to know each other. And I think that's why she chose Jordan, if I'm being honest with you. I think she was like, fuck it, I'm not going to listen to my coochie. I'm going to listen to my brain on this one. And I think that's why she chose Jordan. I do think Mike is going to come back, though. I do, because here's the thing. The reason I feel that their relationship is not going to work is because I don't think Megan thinks it's going to work. All right. And the reason I feel like she doesn't think it's going to work is because Jordan was very open with his lifestyle, with his son and everything like that. Like, he laid it all out on the table. He laid it all, and as he should. Great man, mans for that. He laid it all out on the table for this woman. And, I think she kind of, for one, was a bit overwhelmed to it, and two, kind of understood the vast differences in her lifestyle and his lifestyle. And I think that's going to be apparent when they move in together and when they start living in the real world. And then, she starts to realize like, wow, homeboy wants like the fucking bare minimum when I want more than that, like what the fuck, dude? So I think that's where they're going to clash. And I think Megan kind of already sees that. She kind of already sees that that's where that's going. And she's just like, oh, I do think she kind of in a way feels like she could fix him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can change that in him. Oh, no worry about it. Like, he'll see that we could do that and it'll be great, because she is that kind of like, that type of woman where, she's a take charge and like, get shit done. She's a businesswoman, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So she's kind of used to taking the reins in a lot of stuff. So I think for her, she looks at it like, if I can just take the reins of Jordan and lead him where I want, then, we can make this work at that point. And I kind of think that that's where she's going with this. But I'm not 100% sure. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see their relationship. I think they're a great couple. Personally, I think they're a great couple. I won't lie to you. I do. I personally think they're a great couple. I think Jordan is an amazing guy. And I think Jordan is the type of guy that she needs because I think Jordan fucking grounds her. You know what I mean? Jordan pulls her out of the fucking delusional ass sky that she lives in and kind of grounds her and be like, hey, look, man, we don't need all this fancy shit to get along or to live a nice life. We don't need all that. You know what I mean? This is not what's going to bring us happiness. Having these nice things and these exorbitant things. We don't need this. You know what I mean? And I think he balances her out very, very well. Because he sticks to his guns on that shit, which I love about him. He's just like, no, we don't need that. Luca doesn't need that. Like, bro, we just want you to be there. We just want you to spend time. We don't need you to spend money. We want you to spend time. Stop thinking with your wallet and start thinking with your heart. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going to mean more. And there's been multiple times, even in the pods, where he's pulled her out of that fucking delusional sky, grounded her. And I think that's kind of something that she was just like, that's something I need every once in a while, is to be grounded a little bit. Because I get lost in the sky and in the delusion of like, I need all of this, when in reality, I don't, to live a really nice life. And so that's where I think, that's where that clash is going to come, because there might come a point where she's just going to be like, no, nigga, let me live in the delusional sky, motherfucker, stop grounding me. I don't like that. You know what I mean? My lifestyle has always been this exorbitant lifestyle, and I want to keep that, So we'll see. All right, we'll see. I think their relationship is going to be well. Okay. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to leave them for last. I got a lot to say about them. I'm going to leave them for last. Mr. Patrick, bro. This is Mr. I have no game. This nigga is Mr. I have no game, bro. All right. This is Patrick's game in a nutshell. Yeah. So like, they always would say like, wow, you're super hot for an Asian guy. You know what I mean, dude? Like, for an Asian guy, you're pretty attractive, like, yeah. And so, I would always get like called like, yeah, you're attractive, but like for an Asian guy, you know what I mean? Like it's always been, you're a hot dude, but you're Asian, man, and like, yeah, girls don't like me because I'm Asian. Yeah, man. That's his game. And I'm just like, nigga, you have no game, bro. You have no fucking game. And then when he was connecting with Anna, all they were talking about was just like, oh yeah, I'm Asian too. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. I date white girls. You date white dudes? Man, we're so similar. Like, I'm Asian, you're Asian. You know what I mean? I'm a hot dude. You know what I mean? You say that you're a hot girl. Yeah, man. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, shit. Oh, I get told I'm a hot dude all the time. Yeah. And and then she's just like, "Oh my god, pussy's wet." And it's one of those things where if he would have chose Anna, it wouldn't have worked out, because once he found out that Anna was Chinese, right? I guarantee you, his perception of her was like, "Ooh, she's a skinny little Chinese girl." I guarantee you it. I guarantee you, because for one, majority of Chinese women are very slender and small, because that's their culture and that's how they are. But she ain't about the culture, nigga. She is 1000 Americano. She out here eating the burgers, pizzas, and fries and all that shit. You know what I mean? She's a big girl. It is what it is. But I think it wouldn't have worked because of his assumption of her. You know what I mean? Patrick came into this, I guarantee you, he came into this with just looks. Like, that was his thing. He looks in mind. Because that's all he fucking talked about, bro. With Anna and Casey. That's all they talked about. And then Casey's just like, "Oh, so like, since you're like hot dude or whatever, what's your ethnicity?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'm Cambodian and Chinese." You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, just tell the girl. Why does it matter? I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. I really did. I thought that was the weirdest thing. It was like, bro, why are you so afraid to tell niggas that you're Chinese? Or that you're Asian at that fact? Like, why would that matter? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get why that matters all that much, And if I'm being honest with you, I think a lot of the girls found him attractive because he's tall. You know what I mean? He's a tall nigga. So, again, and that's all Casey would talk about. "Oh yeah, a lot of guys, they call me hot, and I'm like a little Barbie, and da da da." You know what I mean? Homeboy's like, "Oh yeah, I could be like your Asian Ken." Bro, that's all they talked about. They didn't connect on shit. And then don't get me started with fucking Casey. This bitch right here. Oh my god. This bitch is crazy for more than one reason. First off, okay. She sat there and said, "I broke up with my boyfriend to come on Love is Blind." The fuck? And then when Patrick barely pressed her about it, she's over here just like, "Oh no, I just want you, and why do I have to tell him? Like, I just want you, like, I'm just like super hot for you right now. Like, oh my god, my pussy's just like wet for you. Like, I want to fuck you and this and that." And homeboy was just brain scrambled. And she knew what she was fucking doing. She knew what she was doing. She was just like, yeah, if I dangle my coochie in front of him, he's going to forget all about me just telling him that I broke up with a dude to come on this show, and that I'm not going to tell him about us and all this kind of stuff. And it worked, because nigga sat there and was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm so hot for you too, girl. Like, my dick is got rigor mortis, girl. Oh man, you have no idea." And she's just like, "Yeah, so like we're just like perfect for each other." And I'm just like, nigga, you're not gonna press her on this? You just gonna let that shit go? And then the reveal happens. And they're over here just like, "Oh yeah, no, you're super handsome. Oh my god, no, you're like super hot, blah blah blah." And then it cuts to, and she's over here like, "Oh, I can't do this, and I can't, and blah, blah, blah." And homeboy's just like, "What are you like? You like breaking up with me?" And she's like, "Yes." No, and I'm just like, bruh. And he doesn't want to believe it. Like, she is telling you that she doesn't want to be with you anymore, but you, for some fucking reason, don't want to believe it. And it's like, bro, she told you. It came out of her mouth, and then she heard what you said and corrected herself. You know what I mean? And then she's constantly sitting there, "Oh, it's not his looks. Netflix knew what they were doing, though. I ain't gonna cap. Netflix knew what they were doing, bro. They threw that excerpt in there where, you know, she's talking to the producers and, you know, nigga with the camera over here like, yeah, secretly filming her and shit. And she's just like, yeah, you know, I just don't find them attractive, and I don't think I can build attraction. Like, I just don't think that it's gonna happen. And like, I just need to go home. And then it cuts back, and she's just like, no, I love you and care about you. And she's kissing on him, doing all this extra bullshit, jumping on him and shit. And I'm just like, bitch, get the fuck out of here, man. You're the fakest whore I've ever seen. Get out of here, bro. Nobody likes a fake bitch like you. Boo. Oh my God. And I was rooting for Casey. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was rooting for Casey and Patrick. I was like, man, this could be a pretty good relationship. I'm excited to see them move on. But nope. She showed her true colors quick, bro. Quick. And then she sat there and was just like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna choose a guy just to stay on a TV show. Bruh, come on now. Let's be honest. Yeah, you did. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you it was a thing where even she had a preconceived notion of kind of what he looked like. Like, oh, he's probably one of those hot Asian dudes that you see on TV or that you see in K-pop bands or something, you know? And I guarantee that was the guy that she was envisioning in her mind. But then she sees this, like, you know, tall ass, kind of chubby in the face Asian dude, and she's like, oh, well, you know, like, come on, bro. Yeah, she was doing too much. She was doing far too much. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right. Okay, we can get into Nick and Annie. So Nick and Annie. Nick was all for Annie, like, from the get-go, you know what I mean? While Annie was stuck between two dudes, but Annie ultimately chose Nick because the other dude simply was just not fucking being forward with her, if I'm being honest with you. Like, Nick was just like, yeah, it's you, I want you, I care about you, like, you're my girl, you know what I mean? I need you, I care about you so much, like, I can't see myself doing this experiment without you. He laid it all out on the table. Good dude. I fucking love Nick. That's my mans. You know, when I grow up, I want to be like him. I ain't gonna cap. All the way through this experiment, he has just been so good to Annie. He's been there for her. You know what I mean? And whenever she has her little fucking episodes, you know, he don't flip out on her or nothing. He's just like, babe, no, I love you. I love you. I want to do this with you. I'm here for you. I got you. But then we have Annie on the other side. And sometimes I don't know what world she lives in, if I'm being honest with you. Like, homeboy is giving you all these affirmations, right? He's telling you he loves you. He tells you he cares about you. You know, when you guys were at the little party thing, he couldn't stop talking about you, and you loved that about him. You even said that on the little second outing where, you know, they were sitting. It was nighttime, and the guys were sitting over here, and the girls were sitting over there, and they were playing the fucking anxiety, oh, anxiety, that stupid song with the fucking Gautier, you know, fucking music in the background. But, you know, homegirl pretty much had nothing but good things to say, but I think it was the other girls kind of putting the doubt in her mind, if I'm being straight with you. I really do. I really think it was the other girls kind of just, their relationships weren't really going too well, and I think that put doubt in her head, like, oh, he's not really 100% with me. And I get it. He even kind of confirmed that too. He was just like, yeah, no, I mean, I have some concerns. I still have some questions. But I mean, for the most part, like, I'm in this. There's no doubt in my mind that I love you. There's no doubt in my mind that I want to, you know, go through this with you and only with you. And then she hit him with the whole, you need to get this straight that I don't need you. I want you. Like, I don't need you. All right, I don't need you. You need to get that straight. And this is where it kind of like fucked me up. All right, because in the confines of a relationship, I would argue that you do want and you do need your partner. And let me explain. When you decide to choose a person to be your significant other and stuff like that, that is that want. You're like, I want you to be my significant other over every other girl, every other guy, whatever it may be. All right. And that's the want. That is the I want you. But the I need you in a relationship is, I feel, the coreness of the relationship. Think about it like this. In a relationship, that foundation of a relationship is, if we're in a relationship, I need you in the sense of, I want you, I need you to, tell me that you love me, reassure me, support me, be there for me, all these things. You need these things in your partner. Can you get them from other people? Sure. But you need to get it from that person because that is the person that you want. You see what I mean? So yes, you do need that person. I understand where she was probably coming from, and he was probably coming from it at a point of like, oh, I know who I am, and, my life doesn't change without, with or without you and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, when you're thinking about marriage, it does change your life. What do you mean? This is the person that you are supposedly deciding to be with for the rest of your life. So yes, it is going to change your life. You know what I mean? I would argue the need is the fact that from him, you need the affirmations of love. You need the support. You need, all these things that come with the relationship and all that kind of stuff. Because again, if you don't have those innate needs from your partner, well, guess what? I don't think you love your partner. I think this is just a physical thing. You just see the surface level of that person, and that's all you care about. That's all you want. You don't have love for that person. You may love the idea of that person, but if you just want somebody and you don't have these core needs for them, well, you don't love them. You know what I mean? Like, again, you guys can argue, with me in the comments about that. But again, I truly think that is, in a relationship, you have that want, and there needs to be that need as well. And I think, for her to kind of say that is just like, whoa, hold up. Like, why are you throwing this at me? You know what I mean? Like, I know you've worked on yourself as an individual. I know that you have come to a point where you love yourself. You know who you are. You're confident in yourself and all that kind of stuff. I get that. But now we are in a relationship. And now that we are in a relationship, that need changes. You know what I mean? You need me to tell you that I love you, give you affirmations, support you, be there for you, all these kind of things. You need these out of a partner, because otherwise, why are you there? Why am I here? Why am I in this relationship with you? I can go be with somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck am I here with you? If this is just a surface level thing, I don't want to marry a girl who, is only with me for some surface level want bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I looked at that. And I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about that situation. I think a lot of people are kind of staying away from that because I don't think a lot of people really know how to articulate it. And I think everybody kind of looks at it in a way of, oh yeah, no, I don't, like, I agree with her that she shouldn't be codependent and that she shouldn't do this and that. And it's like, it's not about codependency. Like, it's not like, you guys look at that, I need you, as like, no, this is codependency and you don't know who you are and I'm not me without you. And it's like, no, when you're talking about building a relationship with somebody and building those core values of what a relationship is to you, and when you love someone, those are the things that you need. Like, I need you to give me the affirmation, the support, and all, and etc. Like, I need these things out of you. And I would argue, if you are the type of person that you feel that, oh, I could just get that from anybody, well, then you don't love your partner. You don't. If you can just get it from anybody, then you don't love your partner, what's the point? You know what I mean? At that point, you just want your partner, and that's all you care about is just the surface level physical shit. You know what I mean? Again, like I said, you guys can argue with me in the comments about it. I want to get you guys' opinions, especially on that one. That's why I wanted to leave it at the end, because I don't know, man. I just, that situation definitely rubbed me the wrong way with them. And I was just like, that's kind of crazy, you know? And then she was putting words in his mouth and all that kind of stuff. He kind of felt some type of way about that. I personally think he did handle it very well, because I know me, I would have been like, oh, what? Yeah. I already know. I would have kind of felt some type of way about it. I ain't gonna cap to you. So, hey, let me know what you think about it in the comments, though. You know what I mean? What if you're watching Love is Blind season 9? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my breakdown of it and everything. If you want to give your breakdown of any of the couples or anything like that, definitely let your boy know. All right? Oh, my goodness. So, we're going to hop into announcements, and we're going to get into the scenarios for today's show. But, yeah, man, I do love me some trash TV. I haven't done, a show breakdown in a really long time. Really long time. I used to do K-drama recommendations. I used to do Netflix recommendations. I used to do all that stuff. But I just stopped because, you know, I got backlogged with all of you guys' like scenarios and all that kind of stuff. And then we started doing more books and, you know, streaming and everything else. So, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show, like these lovely people did for today. If you are a audio listener, and you're on the fence about joining the Patreon, don't worry. You can actually listen to all the Patreon episodes on Spotify as long as you are a 7-day free trial member or you are a full paid member. All right. And the links to this, to the Patreon Spotify episodes are in the description of all the Patreon episodes, as well as these episodes too. So, you know, if you're mainly an audio listener and you're kind of just like, I don't really want to, you know, listen to the episodes on Patreon. That's why I haven't joined. Well, guess what? You can listen to all the episodes on your Spotify. All right, I got y'all. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys have been killing it. September was our highest downloaded month at 2,700 downloads. That to me is insane. To go from like almost reaching 2,000 to blowing 2,000, literally 700 downloads over. Craziness to me. Thank you guys so much for all that support. You guys are the GOATs, and I appreciate that so much. It lets me know that you guys are coming back every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every other Sunday to check out the episodes, watch, hang out with me and my crazy antics and all the drama we go over on the show. Thank you guys so much for all that support. I do appreciate that very, very much. And all that support is absolutely free. And if it's faux free, it's faux me. And if you want to help out even more, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of it helps out and all of it is free. If you love live streams, we go live every Friday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay. We play a lot of different games, mostly scary games. If you want to join the Discord, you can get in there, talk to me, and our lovely members that we have in there, as well as recommend games for stream and all that good stuff. So definitely get in the Discord. Definitely hop in a stream every once in a while. I do have all of our streams backlogged and in the VOD playlist on YouTube, so you can always rewatch every single stream that we've done, kind of see the vibe, see what's going on. You know, we just hang out, have a good time, and it's all fun and games. But without further ado, let's get into today's scenarios. Oh my goodness. Your boy's been doing a lot of talking, and your boy's losing his voice. My goodness. All right. So our first one is, what do I do? My boyfriend thinks masturbation is cheating. Am I crazy for being upset? All right, my boyfriend and I have been together for a while, and everything was fine until recently. I masturbate occasionally when he is gone, which he didn't know about. It's something I do privately and thought it was normal. which I would think it is. Yesterday, he found out by accident, and it blew up in a huge argument. He's acting like it's the worst thing ever, and now says he wants to break up because of it, because he thinks it's not okay in a relationship, and that you should only share something intimate with your partner. But she is only sharing something intimate with you. Like, if she's diddling her shit, she's not sharing it with anybody. Like, she's sharing it with herself. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? The fuck? I feel like he's overreacting, like it's my body and my choice, and he shouldn't be acting like it's some huge betrayal. I'm really angry and hurt that he's making such a big deal of it, but I also wonder, am I missing something? Am I completely off, or is it normal that I'm upset for him making such a big deal out of it? Yeah, you're in every right to be upset, and if I'm being honest with you, let that nigga break up with you, because that's stupid. If my girl diddled her shit, so what? Okay, and like, bro, who cares? I jerked the chicken. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? This nigga act like he don't beat his meat. What, you think you too good to beat your meat, nigga? I beat my meat. What the fuck you talking about? I'm like, come on, bro. She like, I ain't too good to diddle my, my thing. Like, what the fuck? I would look at it like, that's fine. I'd rather you diddle your shit than go cheat on me and fuck another dude. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? Because look, I look at masturbation in a relationship as a way to get your sexual frustration out when your partner is not around or in the mood. And, it's a great alternative. Like, I do that. I'm chilling. I'm straight. I don't feel the need to cheat on you. I don't feel the need to go talk to somebody or entertain some shit. I don't feel the need to do any of that. I can just blow off my sexual steam, and I'm good. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? So, again, I don't understand why it is that people feel that that's weird. It's a natural thing. Everybody does it. Like, what the fuck, man? And she's not sharing it with anybody. No. What are you talking about? She's not sharing it with nobody. Hey, come on, man. Come on. She's not sharing it with anybody. She's literally doing it privately. Now I would understand if she was a cam girl or some crazy shit like that. Then I would be like, okay, yeah, bitch, you're crazy. At that point I'd be like, bitch, you're crazy. But no, she does it by herself. So I think he's overreacting 1,000%. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. All right, on to our next one. Am I the asshole for not seeing a girl again after finding her TikTok videos? Okay. I, 36 male, recently moved to Paris and met a woman, 28 female, on Tinder. She's originally from Russia. She seemed cool and we had stuff in common. I'm working on my startup and she was developing her own dating app. The conversations were interesting via chat. When we finally went out, she was a bit different than I anticipated. Out of her request, we went to a caviar restaurant and she was busy taking pictures. Don't get me wrong, we still had fun, but some of her questions began getting intrusive. She asked if I fly economy or business, how many successful business projects I've had, and such. One of the weirdest things was her asking what I think about it when guys buy women they've just met expensive gifts, such as fine jewelry or designer bags. Yeah, bro, no. No, bro. This one, the moment she started asking about that shit, yeah, no, gone. I'm about this bitch immediately. I would finish the date. But yeah, I wouldn't talk to her ever again either. Just off that. It honestly was a bit desperate. She tried to convince me too that she grew up in luxury, but the way she talked about it, it was very clear that she was a woman from poverty trying to secure a luxury lifestyle. Otherwise, I thought she was quite nice and actually decent, but the desperation was a turnoff. After the date, I was sort of 50-50 on whether I should see her again, and maybe turned into a no quite fast. She had a pretty big following on social media, and there are many videos of her that she starts with, I'm a high-value woman who only dates provider men. How to get a man with a yacht. and such. She's also selling a workshop on how to date rich guys, which is funny because, yeah, I'm comfortable, but nowhere close to being a millionaire or rich. Some of her videos were mocking other women for having wrong approaches of trying to date, and she was very critical of them. She also openly said that she spent $17,000 on a glow up to bag rich men. This was clearly a person who placed their self-worth on other people and therefore is someone who wouldn't have a relationship with. When I told her this, she got incredibly upset, like it's the worst thing I've ever said or ever seen someone take rejection. She sent me long paragraphs of text, and when I wouldn't respond, she began spamming my other social media as well, then sent a video of herself crying on the toilet. Then she tried to take rather suggestive pictures of herself to send me to let me know what I'm missing out on. I wish I stopped it there. I blocked her, but from what I know, she has sent really upset messages to a few friends of mine. Also, this morning I woke up to a message from my brother saying that he has to have a talk with me about someone. So yeah, it has escalated beyond reason. I don't know. I've clearly heard her, but she's claiming breaking the boundaries here too. So am I the asshole? No. Because you got to look at it like this, bro. You were honest with her, and that was that. If it was the other way around, you'd be the creep and you'd be the weirdo, and, you know, she'd be having restraining orders on you and all this other bullshit. Like, bro, I get it. Girls like her are insufferable. Insufferable. Women like that are absolutely insufferable. Just the fact that she wanted to go to a caviar restaurant already was like, if I'm being straight with you, all right, I ain't gonna lie to you, that already was kind of a red flag. But I get it. You went out on a date with her, whatever it may be. But the moment she started asking about money and started asking about, oh, you know, do you think it's appropriate to give a girl expensive gifts and all this and all that? Yeah, nah, bro. Right then and there, I'd have been like, I know your type. I know who you are. I'm good on that. Because that's crazy. It's like, yeah, I'm going to give my girl expensive gifts and I'm going to do things for her and all this kind of stuff 1,000%. But I'm going to do it because I want to do it, not because that's what she's expecting me to do. You understand that? Like, bro, if you're out here expecting that shit, no, I'm good. I'm good on that. No thanks. Because I already know why you're here. And I already know why you're dating. And then her social media, you know, was a huge red flag. But I already know why you were 50-50 on it. Because you wanted to clap. You know what I mean? You was just like, you know, damn, she kind of looking fine. You know what I mean? I kind of want to fuck at least one time. And that's why you were 50-50. We already know that. It's cool. It's cool. Don't trip, bro. Don't trip. But like I said, you know, just her asking those questions and then her content on TikTok just goes to show you the type of woman that she is. That she only cares about you for what you got. She don't give a shit about you, your personality, anything like that. She's never going to be the type of girl that's going to be there for you, support you in anything. She's never going to be that type of girl that's going to buy you things because she knows that you like it, you know, and just wants to surprise you. She's never going to be the type of girl that actually truly loves you. She's just going to be insufferable the entire time. Why? Because you didn't buy her this, or you didn't do this for her. You couldn't, you know, do this, or whatever the case may be. And I mean, trust me, you made the right decision in blocking this girl and not wanting to talk to her. Women like that are insufferable. Absolutely insufferable. And you go let them be insufferable by themselves. You know what I mean? That's how that goes when being straight with you. You know? Yeah, man. You let me know what you think about that one in the comments, because that's crazy. All right, this one's going to be our last scenario for today's show. Definitely, if you got this far in the episode, definitely let me know what you think about everything that we've gone over today. Love is Blind breakdown, as well as the scenarios. And yeah, man. Love you guys. Let's get on into the last scenario. So, am I the asshole for telling my fat friend, stop talking about getting in shape? All right, a little background information about myself. I am in good physical shape. I diet and meal prep, pretty much your average gym bro. My friend, on the other hand, is medically obese and a gamer. Every couple of months, he'll go on about how he wants to change his life, get in shape, diet, and be consistent in the gym. Then he'll ask me for same advice I gave countless times, complain about his life and why he's fat. Ultimately, he'll ask me to start taking him to the gym. He'll go like one time and then just flake out and not go again. Then he'll then randomly start complaining that I never take him. Then he'll give up and repeat this process. I literally cannot tell you how many times I have made workout programs for him, pep talks, meal prep suggestions, and directions. I'm sick of it. I told him this time something along the lines of, stop asking me for help. You never take my advice and you blame your circumstances on your past. Then he went on and told our other friend in front of me, hey, can I go to the gym with you? He doesn't want to take me and help me. I went on to tell him he has no self-control, no accountability, and he's a hedonist, and he blames all his fuck-ups on other people. Then I said, just stop it. Stop talking about it your whole life and do it. Am I the asshole for telling my fat friend to stop talking about getting in shape? No, you're not the asshole at all, dude. It's one of those situations, bro, where you kind of just got to get to a point where you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. And, look, if I'm being honest with you, I understand your frustration. I understand why you said what you said. But it comes to a point where you gotta just, when you hear them talk about that, you're just like, okay, yeah, man, cool. And if they're like, oh yeah, let's go to the gym together. Nah, like, sorry, bro, my gym schedule is a little crazy and whatnot. You know what I mean? You just start making excuses, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I work with a guy that's like that. Dude's a big dude. He's probably like, 300-400 pounds. He's a big guy. And, he's always talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna get in the gym. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Never does. And he'll get in there, probably work out once, twice, and then, he'll be done with it. And, he drinks a lot of alcohol, and he's, eating shitty food and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, bro, look, man, I get it. If you are actually about it, you got to actually be about it. And I'm talking about not only getting in the gym, but your diet, meal prepping, all this shit, bro. You need to be serious about it. You can't just half-ass this shit and expect to, change your physique and lose weight. It's just not going to happen. A lot of people think that, oh, if I just go to the gym, then yeah, I'll be good. No, bro. No, you're half-assing it at that point. You're not even half-assing it at that point. My personal trainer told me, he was like, bro, you realize going to the gym is only 30% of, the whole pie. The food and the diet and lifestyle is the other 70%. Like, you have to have an active lifestyle. You have to, always be taking walks, doing active things when you're outside of the gym. You also need to be meal prepping, counting calories, doing all these things. And if you're not doing these things, bro, you're not changing. It just is what it is, bro. You're not going to change. You're never going to lose weight. You're never going to see the results that you want. You're going to get these beginner gains, and then it stops right there. You'll plateau immediately. And that's just what it comes down to. You're not going to change, bro. And so, I've gotten to a point where whenever they bring it up, I just be like, yeah, man. Yeah, hey, do your thing. Get in there, dog. Because that's just what it comes down to. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it comes down to, man. So a lot of times you kind of just got to tune those dudes out. You know what I mean? Just tune those guys out. Because that's how I be doing it. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's how I be doing it. No shade to these people, but it's just like, look, bro, you gonna do what you gonna do at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But that's gonna be today's episode, man. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you think about all the scenarios we've gone over today. Love you guys so much. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys on Thursday for our next few chapters of King of Wrath. And yeah, that's it. Love you guys all. See you on Thursday, and peace.